वेलकम बैक लेडीज़ एंड जेंटलमैन। मैं आप सभी का इस वर्कशॉप में हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ। द टॉपिक ऑफ टुडेज़ वर्कशॉप इज़ प्रोपेलिंग इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ फॉर एन इंक्लूसिव नॉर्थ ईस्ट। To conduct the workshop, I invite on stage our esteemed motivational speaker, Shri Mayur Bora. जोरदार तालियां श्री बोरा के लिए। Shri Mayur Bora completed his graduation in 1993 from Hansraj College, University of Delhi, with honors in history. He is also a certified associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. His banking career started at NABARD, where he worked in the Lucknow, Guwahati, Chandigarh and Pune offices, besides serving as the bank's representative in the boards of 2 RRBs in Maharashtra. In his long career, he also served as faculty member in Indian Institute of Bank Management, Guwahati, from 2015 to 2019. Without further ado, I hand over to Shri Bora to commence the workshop. Over to you, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I think noise from all the sides, from the mic and also from the cultural program that they have been planning, and they are going to do it with all the people will cherishing and celebrating probably the ethos of the country with special focus on Northeast. I don't know what's the agenda there, but after I think, can you just make it slightly higher? It's very scary. The first presentation, the first panel, there are 5-6 chairs, a lot of erudite people coming here and reaching the intellectual bandwidth in the morning session, and also enlarging the scope and width of our knowledge by their insightful, incisive comments about different aspects of how to propel the growth of Northeastern region. I commend, I congratulate, and I compliment all the panelists who have made my job in a way very, very easy now, and in a way very, very tough now. Very tough because after a very structured kind of discussion and after a very sumptuous lunch being provided by NABARD, it becomes very, very difficult for the man with the mic now, with lot of butterflies in his stomach and lump in my throat, to catch the fancy or the attention of the people to a very important aspect of the second aspect, that is the workshop conductor for propelling the growth of the Northeastern region. I think when I saw this share initially, I got a little bit intimidated, because when I heard the term conductor for the first time, I have been to different countries of the world to deliver speeches, but conductor, it reminds me of great Jubin Mehta, the London Philharmonic, Israel Philharmonic Orchestra, or the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra. So in your presence, someone said in the morning that Northeast is famous for music, and Choliaji, he was telling that how the fruit wine of the farmers of the Northeast can change their fate in the times to come. We'll just try to go in a very, very unstructured way, so that the lunch, the extra calories that you might have imbibed in the first floor, and the music which is coming probably as a sedative, probably as a unsettling sound also at times, can put you in a different league. So without further ado, I would like to say one thing at the beginning itself. I landed up in Delhi. Last month also I landed up in Delhi for a Sahitya Academy seminar. Actually, the lady, she did a wonderful job. She did not tell the most important aspect, what I feel I did as a person, and that's why it has brought me here. Apart from that 25 years in NABARD, I joined in 96 with Mr. Loken Das, Mahesh, Prabhudatta Sahu. I left it in 2021. But in between, I chased my passion. I have written 18 books, 16 in Assamese and 2 in English. And I keep on delivering speeches and take part in television debates. But I have not come here only for that. Let me make it very, very clear. When I landed up last month, it was a Sahitya Academy literary seminar. And there, I saw the toxic haze of Delhi air tightening its grip and making the life very, very uncomfortable. Now I come in the month of January in the new year, the first week of January, yesterday I landed, and I saw the fog, I saw the mist. But I am grateful to the organization, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, under the supervision or in close coordination with Department of Financial Services, Government of India, for designing and conceptualizing the program without any fogginess, without any mistiness in their mind, in their concept. They are so clear about one thing, that Northeastern region and NABARD, we can definitely blend very seamlessly in our background, in the backdrop of our mind, about NABARD being a very, very inclusive democratic organization, and also some positive aspect of the Northeastern region being inherently predisposed towards a ecosystem in which egalitarianism, democracy, and many other things, as we understand with the help of Western terminology, that we see being practiced in the Northeastern region since ages together. And today, that's a beautiful blending between these two thought processes. And in that particular scenario, in the backdrop, I emerge here to take little bit of your time. See, many things have been told about Northeastern region. And before that, if NABARD, those of you who have joined, we are very fortunate, we are very, very proud that this particular conclave or this particular session on the 4th of January was inaugurated by none other than the Honorable Prime Minister of the country. We also know tomorrow probably Home Minister of the country is coming to grace the occasion as a chief guest in the valedictory program. These are very important things for NABARD and also for the countrymen. But at the same time, NABARD, who is associated with the ethos of the marginalized and the base of the pyramid, I would like to compliment and congratulate, if I can take the example of the 2-3 ladies without being imprisoned by their mobile phone, probably two of them are busy in their conversation. If I take them as a robust template of what they have done, because of which we have seen this seminar, because of we have seen all the artisans coming from different parts of the country and showcasing their thing, I think we should put our hands together for all the people who are working to make this happen. I think for the artisans and the people of NABARD and all other sections, I think we should give a big round of applause for them. This will also help you to keep, if the slip comes after the sumptuous lunch, away at an arm's length. I think this is also very, very important. So the thing is, workshop conductor, and to carry forward the very important enriching legacy that has been discussed for 2.5 hours or 3 hours by some best of the minds who have assembled and who give their insightful addresses on different aspects, how that progress can be accelerated, how that progress, the dichotomy of 2.9% of contribution to GDP, but 4% of the population, how these structural issues or challenges can be met. I think that is a challenge, not only staring on the face of the people of the Northeastern region, I think it is staring at the face of the all Indians who think about inclusive growth, who think about development which will touch the lives of millions of people, irrespective of their geographies, irrespective of their class, creed, or religion. Those who feel that proudly wear that Indianness upon their sleeve, I think it will be a testament or testimony for all of them. And for that, I think the seminar like this or workshop like this assumes sharper significance or importance in today's time. Now, our madam from Kohima, you are telling about one particular thing. So as I said, I will be little bit informal so that things can go very smoothly, and will be brief also. Earlier, Lokendas, my friend, very dear friend of mine, he was in a very structured program, beautifully organized a program. So he used to give 5 minutes, 10 minutes, later on 1 or 2 sentences. But I am giving you more. I'll give you 120 seconds. So in terms of numbers, it is more. So I want to come straight to you because you lamented, you loudly lamented, and you logically lamented when you see the AI picture of the Northeastern region. It apparently catches the attention of all the people when she made her presentation with that AI-generated picture on the presentation board. And then she laments rightfully, logically, rationally. She says, where from that AI has got this picture? So with that lament, with that comment made by her, I want to ask her one aspect, that when we discuss about Northeast, when we talk about Northeast, many people, be it in the government sector, also in the non-government sector, be on the other side of the chicken neck, they tend to treat Northeastern region as some sort of monolithic stiffness, or monochromatically there is only one union. But we know it was so dizzyingly diverse, it was so captivatingly plural, but when we say Northeast, when we try to treat it as a geographical block, we tend to discard, or we tend to not take into account the differences that resonate, that pulsate, that spur within all the people in their thought processes. So I want to ask you, madam, what is your thought in 120 or maybe 180 seconds? How do you feel when you go out, you studied abroad, you worked in Bangalore, when someone tells you that, oh, you are from Northeast, without knowing much about your state, they will say, oh, are you from Guwahati? Or how is Shillong? How do you feel? Can someone give the mic to Ninu, right? Huh? Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. Shakespeare said, what's in a name? A rose by any other name would have smelt as sweeter. Please carry on.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Sir Bora, for the question. My name is Nune. It means peace in my dialect. So when I was in Bangalore, I'll just start with that, and I'll respond to your question. I was applying for my Aadhaar card. And I told them, what's your address? It's in Nagaland. They said, oh, you don't have to apply because you are not part of India. And I was like, what? I think you were absent in your geography lesson. So that's where the ignorance begins. And then we continue to face this for a very long time. And then one of the reasons why for us Northeastern people, we are less in population, but we are a close-knit community, and our identity is still not known to a lot of people as well. Even now, to this date, even if I go to an immigration's checkout point at the airport, people will still look at me and my passport and say, are you really Indian? Are you married? I'm single. But then they said, I'm an Indian. So my introduction is always longer, even at the immigration's kiosk at the airports, in almost all the international airports, till this date. I'm from Nagaland. I'm from the Angami community. There are 17 districts, 17 recognized tribes. I do not understand the dialect of another tribe. Ao, Sema, Chagasang, Lota, I don't understand. So that is how diverse we are. And when we are, referred as one term, we are appreciative of the recognition, but we also feel that more education and awareness need to be given to a lot of people outside the Northeastern region as well. Because something as simple as a pattern of my mekhala, which we call it the sarong, looking at it, Nagas will know that this is an Angami tribe. And if another tribe wears, I will be able to identify. And even from the dialect or the name, Nune means peace in Angami tribe. So from the name to all these nuances, cultural nuances, we are very different. And I also mentioned during my initial introduction in the panel discussion that, yes, I'm from the Northeast region, but my examples will be specific to Nagaland because it will not be fair to people from Assam, people from Meghalaya, Tripura, because the way we function, the laws, the village community, all these are very different, and some of them very sensitive as well to certain indigenous aspects of our culture. So I think that answers your question. Yes, thank you.
Rightly answers my question, also underlines the pain and sorrow that some of the Northeastern people all the time they have to feel when they come, especially if you see from the anthropological feature-wise, if they are not akin to the so-called mainstream Indian. So nothing is mainstream. There's a famous book called Empire Strikes Back. There is also a famous book called Periphery Strikes Back. And when I talk about periphery of being Northeastern region, I also think sometimes NABARD is some sort of a periphery, because NABARD always propounds, propagates, and popularizes the SHG bank linkage program. Try to imagine in 1992 when rest of the country was struggling with the idea how those educated, uneducated or half-educated, semi-literate ladies or women, later on they changed the fate of the women folk of the country, and ultimately Government of India and many other state government had to embrace the program that was popularized by NABARD. Now everyone, nobody knows, sometimes the baby becoming more famous than the parent is also a tremendous amount of satisfaction for the Nabardian, especially the people like old Nabardian like me. I also consider myself to be a Nabardian. I draw my love and affection every month from Nabard, and also draw my love and affection every day from friends like Mahesh and Loken and Mani Kumar and many other friends, Prabhudat Sahu, and many other friends in different regions. Now, I want to ask Mr. Chaulia, you raised a very, very important question. Your presentation was so comprehensive, so holistic. You tried to underline everything in a given short period of time, but you also, because of your background, says it is the only statutory body. You are the executive advisor and chairperson of the Meghalaya Farmers Commission. So when we talk about farmers, it will be applicable more or less to all over the country. But I want to ask with special reference to Northeastern region that why our farmers, if they want to do better, if they talk about their rights, if they want their rights to be amplified by some leaders, I don't mind. We, as a welfare country, we should try to also give a magnifying effect to the effort they are making because their life is tough. But at the same time, we occasionally feel we are very, very concerned about our rights, which is good in a democracy, in a democratic republic. But should we not also be concerned little bit about our duties? I am not saying about all farmers. I am not generalizing. I don't want to get bogged down in stereotypes and generalizing. But I want to ask a substantial portion of the farmers in the Northeastern region, they are genuinely concerned about their rights with little bit disproportionate attention being given to their duties. That's my understanding or feeling. Obviously, it's a third person's understanding. It is not NABARD's understanding of the thing. So I want you to respond to this particular question.
Yes, Mr. Bora. The thing is that, see, as a government, obviously we are concerned about the rights of farmers. And I think all policies have been geared towards that objective, to ensure that farmers are ensured, get their rightful rights. Access to good seeds, access to assistance, finance, whatever, technology. I think all the state governments, all the schemes, all the departments are geared towards that. But also there's the other side of the coin that says that, okay, what are the duties of a farmer? I mean, I think that's the question you're asking. To me personally, the duty of a farmer should be that to ensure that whatever assistance he has received is properly utilized, number one. Because it is for him. The government, the department does not get any financial benefit or any other commercial benefit from ensuring that farmers have access to technology, finance, schemes, marketing support, whatever it may be. But what we find, and sadly, in fact, this is also not a generalization, but also what we have observed, and I personally have observed over the last so many years, is that sometimes when we give everything free, farmers don't value it. And there have been many cases where people, departments have given free saplings, free seeds, and farmers just simply don't take care of them. Either they sell it off or maybe just dump it somewhere. So slowly that realization is coming, and I think it's high time that we start putting, in fact, efforts are there now, where farmers have to actually pay a very small minimum. Say, like for example, I'll give the example of my commission. We send farmers out to exposure visits. In fact, we send farmers out for training And initially, in the initial periods, we saw that a lot of farmers were very interested in going out. But then the learnings from that was not actually there, because a lot of farmers and a lot of even entrepreneurs also, they went out basically to have fun. So when we did a small pilot when I was the director of the Institute of Enterprise, we tried with a group of farmers, because this came from the farmers. The genuine farmers who went there, they were disturbed. They told me, they said, so why are you allowing this kind of thing to happen? So therefore, they suggested that, and this came from the farmers themselves, they suggested that there should be some kind of stake. And that's what happened. We then introduce a concept where we say, okay, fine, if you want to go for an exposure or a training, you have to contribute something, maybe 10%, 20%, whatever you can. And you know, we saw that the number of farmers, the quality of the kind and the kind of interest that farmers took went up. It was only farmers who were interested in learning, who were interested in doing, they were the ones coming forward because they were willing to pay for it. And I think in developmental schemes, that ownership, see, the critical thing here is that everything boils down to ownership. Whether it be entrepreneurs, whether it be farmers, as long as the people involved own that enterprise or own that activity, things will happen. But if no ownership is there, and this is my personal opinion, of course, I firmly believe that besides critical areas, there is a limit to how much freebies we can give. So that's my take.
Absolutely, absolutely. I cannot agree more on this. The sense of ownership, the sense of belongingness, if there is no stake, why a bank, before giving finance, they want some margin? It's only because it's simple common sense. The same thing as Mr. Saulia was telling, some of the people, not all, they want to have fun at the cost of public money. That creates problem, that vitiates the atmosphere. So in the backdrop of these two important observations, I just give it open to all. Anyone can respond within 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. I have a feeling, you may correct me if I am wrong, the credit delivery channel, not only in the northeastern region, maybe degree maybe more in the northeastern region or maybe in some other geographies of the country, credit delivery channel is extremely susceptible to get clogged at the drop of a hat. And the non-credit delivery channel, where the government agency's role in doling out subsidies comes in, they also tend to get, some of them get contaminated. And in the backdrop of that we are discussing, some of the farmers, they are also concerned more about their rights, nor about their duties. So if this is the scenario, I don't want to discourage. I know how it's happening, how we are progressing. But if you want to progress further, if you want to reduce the gap between 2.9% of GDP contribution and 4% of the population to a level which is acceptable to all, or to make it higher than the all India average, then I think some of the things we have to admit if it is our fault. If you see this kind of fault being practiced by someone in the vicinity of your place, I think we need to point out, not only as an Nabardian, not only as a government official, but as a proud Indian who goes by the ethos that is enshrined in the constitution of the country and what the founding fathers of the country have founded this beautiful republic about. So I want to ask, do you also feel on those lines, does it happen like that? कि बैंक से credit मिलना कभी कभी मुश्किल हो जाता है, और government का भी sometimes unnecessary petty level, sometimes political interference comes in terms of deciding about who becomes the beneficiary. And that becomes quite challenging for NABARD DDM, for LDM, for bankers, and many people, they cannot speak this because they feel that some people who are calling the shots, both at government level and bank level, they would be unhappy. I think this needs to be told. If you want to rectify, if you want this situation not to get recur in future, I think that has to be told. So I just want to know whether I am a cynical man thinking on those lines, or there are some other people who also think there is some grain of truth in what I was saying. क्या बोलते हैं आप लोग? Huh? Anyone like to respond? Or the lilting music that is coming wafting across, you are more engrossed in this. Because if you are, I don't want to be a stumbling block. I don't want to, if I can use the word, choke, or I said that credit delivery channel gets clogged. I don't want to get some sort of a instrument or tool of clog in your enjoyment, which is legitimate after 4 or 5 days of toiling in this wintry, biting cold of Delhi. Yes, young man smiling, would you like to say something? Yeah, please, someone gives the.
Sir, my question is like, if
Oh,
in,
I will get a question out of my question. I thought I'll get an answer first, then probably you can ask a
no, no,
question.
I have attended this session.
Okay.
today only.
Okay, okay.
Basically, I am from cooperative societies only.
Sorry, yeah.
So I am having. my
Hold it
farms.
nearer, please. Yeah.
I am having farms and dairy farms in Panipat and these rural cities. So I want to establish the farms in northeast areas. So how could NABARD help the rural community to set up farms over there?
I think that's a very general question, and my friend, Chief General Manager of NABARD Regional Office, Assam, who is sitting just next to you, Mr. Loken Das, I request you to meet him after the program.
Yeah, yeah.
Trouble him with your questions and get some actionable points from him, how best you can come to Northeastern region. And with your exposure and experience in Haryana, you can also beautify some other aspects of the Northeastern region.
yes.
I heartily welcome you and request you, exhort you to trouble him.
Okay.
Okay. So, Luken, would you like to come? Because, see, growth can be propelled if there is simultaneous appetite, hunger shown from the all quarters. Otherwise, with the mic in your hand and music coming up, people thinking, maybe probably, lot of doses have been given since morning. Very important, very insightful. But there is a specific area call, which Mr. Chaulia has very beautifully underlined, about waiver of export duties for GI tag and organically grown vegetables. That, I think, was a part of your policy tweaking or change he wants to see for the products of the Northeastern region. So I request, although my name was there, it was understood, I think, for all Nabardians know, the third topic, my friend, and more, you have already seen how energetically, enthusiastically he has conducted the program. Now you don't have to smile all the time. Let the smile be there in all the rural people. Come up stage and try to handle that thing. That GI certification and the organic farming. How best, I'm not talking about the policy aspect, how NABARD or what kind of support or what kind of response or thoughts you are expecting from the audience here. You'd like to say from there? Okay. This is called friendship. He doesn't want to intimidate me by his overpowering presence on the stage. I appreciate that friendship. Thank you, Loken. Please go ahead.
Should I thank him? I have my own doubts now. क्या हम उसको शुक्रिया अदा करें या आप मुझे फंसा दिए हो, right? So actually ये जो थर्ड लाइन है GI and ऑर्गेनिक, ये दोनों का इश्यूज बहुत दोनों साइड में है. अब GI का ठप्पा लगा दिया, उसके बाद अभी यहाँ गुलाबी मीनाकारी का सामान बिक रहा है. वो नाबार्ड का, आई थिंक वो वही शायद मेरे हिसाब से वही द फर्स्ट GI नाबार्ड के सपोर्ट से हुआ था. पर सिर्फ वो GI का ठप्पा लगा देने से कुछ होगा? It will not happen. No, not. What will happen? Will it start walking on its way, or say money will come to the artisan's pocket? No. But that other ecosystem interventions are required. Likewise, in case of organic also. The problem is, some of you may be aware, or all of you might be aware, I don't know. Indian tea had a lot of issues in, especially Germany and all that, in the beginning of the century also. They were mostly being sandbagged because it had got zinc, zinc above the, say, quantum that is allowed by them. Likewise, many other, chemicals were there. So now, then began this process of calling many things organic. Then, from 2000 onwards, there has been a lot of changes. There's a time when people started differentiating between bio and organic. Government of India had also set up different kind of institutions, and they have initiated different schemes. One is called NPOP, National Program for Organic Production or Organic Agriculture in a way. You have that center here, nearer to Delhi, where you can do the testing. And those standards have been accepted by the European Union also. One of the most stringent in the country. Now, why that was done? Because by calling it organic, मैं खाद बाहर से लेके नहीं लाया, इसीलिए मेरा organic है. That is also not true. Because when they say chemicals, those are there in that particular crop or food material, it should not be above a certain level. It should not be beyond the level where it becomes harmful to the human being. And then there will be issues of biomagnification. Then after, so many things will be there. People are reading that. Now, that is why organic certification, there are two programs that's going on in the country now. One is NPOP based direct, certification. The other one is PGI. Okay? So the PGI is basically peer group based this thing, certification. So, but are our people aware about it? So that is why what is required is, first of all, not creating awareness among the producers as well as the purchasers. I'll not call them buyers. I'm calling them purchasers. Because people go to buy things to the market, like a flea market, right? Or the market of your, हम लोग जहाँ जाते थे, अभी भी हमको झोला लेके जाने को मजा आता है. और purchaser I call, I'm using the word purchaser because purchaser जाता है, purchaser buyer से purchaser सुनते ही थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा ऊंची घराने का लगता है नहीं. तो likewise purchaser मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ क्योंकि जो मॉल्स वगैरह में जाते हैं, वहाँ पे लोग जाते हैं, वहाँ पे बोलते हैं कि ऑर्गेनिक है तो they will buy. But आप रास्ते में बेचो, ओपन मार्केट में बेचो, तो जहाँ पे मरहम पट्टी जगह लगा जाता है, आप उसमें वैक्सिंग करो, उसमें सजाओ उसको, तो उसका दाम बढ़ जाता है. बट प्योर चीज़ इफ़ यू वांट, अभी आप जैसे व्हाट यू कॉल दैट, अमरूद बोलते हैं ना, पोमग्रेनेट को क्या बोलते हैं? अनार. तो अनार, इतना बड़ा अनार चमक रहा है और उसका जो तोड़ने से वो ही आवाज़ आता है जो बचपन में हम सुने थे. मैं दिखा था अनंतपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, और वो बनने का यही कंप्लेंट था कि मैंने जीरो बजट फार्मिंग अडॉप्ट किया, पर मुझे उतना प्राइस नहीं मिलता है जो बोला गया था कि हमें ज़्यादा प्राइस मिलेगा. तो इसमें प्रॉब्लम कहाँ है? परचेजर का. जो खरीदता है, बायर एंड परचेजर खरीदने जाते हैं तो लोगों को लगता है कि मुझे कम कीमत में चाहिए. और हम लोग मीटिंग में हर जगह में लोग डिस्कस करते हैं, एग्रीकल्चर फार्मर्स का इनकम बढ़ना है, कहाँ से बढ़ेगा? बढ़ेगा कहाँ से? थोड़ा सा अगर फार्मर्स का प्रोडक्ट का दाम बढ़ गया, एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्ट्स का दाम बढ़ गया, तो हलचल मच जाता है, राइट? बाकी चीज़ों का दाम बढ़ते रहे. तो लाइकवाइज ऑर्गेनिक बोलने से उसका जो प्राइस एनहेंस होता है, प्राइस एस्केलेट होता है, उसको एक्सेप्ट कराने के लिए कॉमन पब्लिक को हमें अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा. तो और ऑर्गेनिक आई जस्ट से टू दिस बिकॉज इसमें हमें अगर वैल्यू एड करना है तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल उसका वैल्यू को एक्सेप्ट करवाना पड़ेगा. देन ओनली हमारे पास कुछ ज़्यादा ही इनकम अर्निंग का प्रोसेसेस रहेंगे. नहीं तो क्या होगा, वो बैंड बाजा बढ़ा तो और काम कुछ नहीं. अभी जैसे मान लीजिए हम यहाँ कुछ और बहुत ही थियोरेटिकल, बहुत ही स्टिमुलेटिंग बात करेंगे, पर वहाँ बाजा बज रहा है, सुनेगा ही नहीं, कान में जाएगा ही नहीं. तो लाइकवाइज हम लोग अगर सीरियसली अवेयरनेस बिल्डिंग पे कोशिश नहीं करते, बोथ साइड, सप्लायर्स एज वेल एज डिमांड साइड, देन तब तक ये वाला एक्चुअली वैल्यूएट नहीं कर पाएगा. पर इसमें वैल्यूएट दूसरे तरीके से हो सकता है. कैसे? एक्सपोर्ट मार्केट में अभी इंडिया से चीज़ें बाहर जाने लगे हैं. हम बोलते हैं आप कच्चा सब्जी, कच्चा थिंग जो पानी के साथ मत एक्सपोर्ट करो, because we are also using we are also sending the water away from our land. ये भी स्पेशली फ्रेश वेजिटेबल्स वगैरह, तो बोलते हैं उसको ड्राई करके करो। सो ऑर्गेनिक है, ड्राई है, ड्राइड अप है, डिहाइड्रेटेड है, उस तरीके से भी वैल्यूएट किया जा सकता है। बट प्राइमरीली ऑर्गेनिक सर्टिफिकेशन विल हैव टू बी देयर। पर नेक्स्ट हमारा प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है, ऑर्गेनिक सर्टिफिकेशन मिला 3 साल में, 3 साल के बाद मिला, मिलने के बाद आर वी ऑनेस्ट? सर्टिफिकेट तो है, सर्टिफिकेट है, तो हमारे लिए मेरे पास सर्टिफिकेट है भाई, मुझे सब, मेरा सब ठीक ठाक है। और बाद में क्या होता है, आप बेचने जाते हो विदेशों में, वो टेस्ट करता है, बोलो भैया ये तो जो जिसके पास सर्टिफिकेट नहीं है उससे भी बदतर हालों में। सो ये हमारे फार्मर्स को एंड बिजनेसमैन को भी इसमें केयरफुल होना पड़ेगा। सर्टेन वेजिटेबल्स है इंडिया में, अभी हम लोग एग्रीकल्चर पढ़ रहे हैं, जब बाज़ार में मार्केट करने जाते हैं, जो भी चमकीला होता है उसको खरीदते कभी नहीं है। मैं वही गोभी खरीदता हूँ जहाँ पे कोई कीड़ा दिख रहा है, मैं वही बैंगन खरीदता हूँ जहाँ पे कीड़ा दिख रहा है। एनीथिंग दैट इज शाइनिंग बियॉन्ड द लिमिट, पीपल बिकम डाउटफुल। सो दीज आर रियलिटीज़। ये रियलिटी को मायने मन में रख के हमें ये प्रोसेस एंड इनिशिएटिव को आगे बढ़ाना है। रिगार्डिंग GI, we have GI for so many, more than 650 products and items for which only we have GI. But post GI कितने हैं? अभी असम में हम लोगों ने नाबार्ड की तरफ से अराउंड 3000 लोगों को ऑथोराइज यूजर दिया है, विच इज पोस्ट GI। GI टैग मिल गया, ठप्पा मिल गया, उसके बाद क्या? उसमें कौन करेगा? अभी यहाँ पे आज सेक्रेटरी साहब बता रहा था अगर रूट का पॉलिसी के बारे में, ठीक है, अगर रूट का पॉलिसी के बारे में, तो वही पैर जहाँ से अगर बनता है, जहाँ से अच्छे अतर बनते हैं, इत्र बनते हैं, ठीक है, जो अजमल ग्रुप ने पूरा, अभी जाओगे मोस्ट ऑफ द मॉल्स में अजमल ग्रुप का है, स्पेशली मुंबई में है, असम में, दिल्ली में भी मैंने देखा हूँ। तो ये जो अगर है उसका अंदर का हिस्सा से सेंट बनता है, इत्र बनता है, और उसका जो स्किन है, आई मीन बार्क है, उसका बार्क से that you can call to be Indian papyrus। papyrus तो कि सब जानते हैं, मिस्र में मिला था। तो ये जो बार्क है उससे प्रोसेस का यहीं पे है, आप देख सकते हो। उसको हम लोग एज ए मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट, माजूली मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट के हिसाब से GI किए थे। मैं जस्ट साथ ही बोल रहा हूँ कि हर चीज़ में हमको कैसे वैल्यूएट करने का प्रोसेस है। बस GI, हमने GI दे दिया मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट का प्रोसेस को, पर उसको तो कोई करना पड़ेगा। करने के बाद का कोई प्रोडक्शन कर लिया, हम लोगों ने 50, 100, 1000 लोगों को ट्रेनिंग दे दिया, और वही सबने करने लगा, तो उसको एक्सक्लूसिविटी, एक्सक्लूसिवनेस खत्म हो जाएगा, ठीक है। तब उसका मार्केट में उसका प्राइसिंग उतना नहीं रहेगा। बट द प्रॉब्लम इज वो पर्टिकुलर टिपिंग पॉइंट बहुत दूर है। वी नीड टू हैव ह्यूज क्वांटम ऑफ प्रोडक्शन बिकॉज इन outside the country it is one of the material that can be exported because it is totally organic। अभी आप लोग देखिए, आप अगर कोई पेंटिंग भी बेचने जाते हैं, लोग पूछते हैं इज इट ऑर्गेनिक, डज इट हैव लीड? मेनी ऑफ यू माइट बी नोइंग दैट अर्लियर लीड वाज यूज्ड इन पेंटिंग एंड दैट हैड क्रिएटेड लॉट ऑफ इश्यूज, मेनी एंड लॉट ऑफ अदर इश्यूज। सो अभी इसमें लोग पूछते हैं, नाउ दिस इज वन ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिक, यू आर डूइंग इट ऑन अ बाग, you are using a few material, even for polishing you are using the seed of a tree। So if we can place it that way to outside world, then only we'll get the money out of it। If I have a role, if I have a certain message, then we'll be having good income out of it। So just by GI, just by organic certification, ठप्पा लगाने से कुछ नहीं होगा, ठप्पे के बाद वाला बात है। तो उसमें क्या है, बहुत लोग उसमें GI जो प्रोडक्ट लग जाता है, उसमें भी कुछ लोगों ने कहीं पे रिपोर्ट ऐसा आया है कि थोड़ा सा इधर उधर का उसमें भी हुआ था, ठीक है। मैं खुद ही देखा हूँ कुछ GI आइटम्स में, एक बहुत सीनियर अफसर ने पूछा था, भाई यहाँ पे प्लास्टिक तो नहीं है? जैसे मान लो बाफेलो का जो हॉर्न होता है उससे चिन्नी बनता है, कोम बनता है, वो हर जगह बनता है, ऐसा नहीं है कोई स्पेसिफिक जगह है। बट वो जितना बनता होगा बट प्लास्टिक का ज़्यादा बनता है जो देखने में सेम है, बीके का भी प्लास्टिक वही हॉर्न का बोल के. सो दैट डाइल्यूशन वी डू. So somewhere in our society, we need to ensure that our people remain authentic they maintain the authenticity of the product. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. So if we have to take the rural population ahead by riding these two specific, I will call it bus. One is GI bus, the other is organic bus. Most important thing is we need to ensure the integrity of our people, the producer. So for them, they need to be incentivized by ensuring they will be getting good money, good enough demand, and also sensitizing them that if you lose the exclusivity once, the opportunity goes for a lifetime. So for us, the question is, how do we move ahead? So how do we move ahead is create awareness, definitely facilitate marketing, and most important is maintain authenticity of the product, exclusivity of the product. For GI and organic, I think I cannot add more than this. Thank you.
Thank you, Loken. I think, can you increase the volume? I don't know, I have to shout at my vocal cords are on strain. I thank Loken for very beautifully and comprehensively dealing with the issue. And I also just want to go to two things he has highlighted. I will not go into the scholastic overtones or the practical underpinnings of his statement or discourse, what he has said, which all the farmers and the people associated with the field have appreciated and probably they are likely to embrace. Two things he said, that all that glitters is not gold. The brinjal in the market and many other items that glitters, that dazzles, that not necessarily is gold. So we should be somewhat cynical and skeptical while going to the vegetable market. Also, we should try to sharpen our discerning eyes. Secondly, and more importantly, there is no shortcut to success. And if you are a banker, you need to be honest. If you are a government official, you are expected to be honest. But if you are a farmer and an entrepreneur, then also the same amount of uprightness or honesty you have to celebrate within yourself. Otherwise, it becomes difficult to sustain and market your organic products, which are likely to be given a counter certificate or some sort of negative in a laboratory if it is done outside or maybe inside the country. I thank Loken for that. And my last question for the afternoon. And thereafter, if you have questions, maybe one or two we can take, or we can then wind up. Because the reverse clock is also indicating that we are left with slightly over 10 minutes of time. Somebody suggested in the morning session about the need to enhance our social media presence. Nooni told about, logically, the kind of problems she faces in Dimapur or in other parts of Kohima. She has to carry 2-3 mobiles because there are network issues. But at the same time, we cannot think of having a wider reach if we do not have presence in various kind of mediums that have been made available to us by the advent of technology. So if there are any, not necessarily young at heart, if you have got some solution, practical, which can be actionable, you can share your ideas, that this way we can popularize our product by using Instagram, by using Facebook or any other social media that you deem fit. If you have, I request to share so that some of the people in the northeastern region and other region also can embrace that and they can benefit by leveraging their presence in the social media as indicated by someone in the morning session. कुछ अगर आप लोग बोलना चाहे कैसे और थोड़ा ingeniously social media, please sir, yeah.
थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर द नाबार्ड को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है कि ग्रामीण क्षेत्र को उभारने के लिए, ग्रामीण तबके को सशक्तिकरण के लिए बहुत ही अच्छा प्रोग्राम किया है, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद नाबार्ड को भी और डिपार्टमेंट, फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट की, क्योंकि भारत के अंदर 65 to 70% पॉपुलेशन रूरल एरियाज में रहती है अभी जो नई स्कीम गवर्नमेंट की आई है कैपेसिटी बिल्ड, मैं छोटी सी ऑब्जर्वेशन कहता हूँ, जयपुर में CPET है, सेंट्रल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ प्लास्टिक इंजीनियरिंग टेक्नोलॉजी, जो ट्रेनिंग देती है प्लास्टिक टेक्नोलॉजी को। एक मशीन की कॉस्ट थी 50 लाख रुपये, अगर उसको मैं चलाना नहीं जानता तो क्या वो मशीन चल जाएगी क्या? तो नीड ऑफ ए कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग, स्किलिंग, अप स्किलिंग और एडवांस स्किलिंग। क्वेश्चन आता है कि GI इज ए पार्ट ऑफ IPR, मैंने भी IPR की ट्रेनिंग ली है कि हाउ टू इंडिकेट GI टैग एट लोकल लेवल। यू आर लिविंग इन नॉर्थ ईस्ट, आई एम लिविंग टू राजस्थान। राजस्थान में सो मैनी बाजरा की प्रोडक्ट की बातें, लेकिन कितना बाजरा प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में आया? 2023 बाजरा लिमिटेड ईयर था, नेशनल ईयर ऑफ मिलेट था, लेकिन कितना? क्वेश्चन है कि इंफॉर्मेशन, अवेयरनेस, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग टू द GI इंफॉर्मेशन एक्ट इन द लोकल लेवल विद द सिस्टम ऑफ इकोसिस्टम मैनेजमेंट।
थैंक यू सर। क्वेश्चन तो बहुत बढ़िया है आपका। आंसर लोकेन या प्रभुदत्त, एनीवन लाइक टू से? आई डोंट नो अबाउट रिसेंट NABARD initiative in this regard, that what I have understood, that whether GI certification or all other stuff can be broad based or maybe done at a local level so that farmer doesn't have to travel long distance है, यही बात कर रहे हैं ना आप? थोड़ा जोग्राफिकली और स्प्रेड आउट होना चाहिए। आई डोंट नो NABARD डायरेक्टली तो ये करेंगे नहीं, पर NABARD के बारे में जानकारी तो होगा। साहू वुड लाइक टू सप्लीमेंट और? हाँ, या प्लीज प्लीज, माइक इज ऑल योर्स। हाँ, ये करने के बाद आप कीजिए, वो खत्म करते हैं उसके बाद।
एक्चुअली मैं पूरा समझ नहीं था। अगर आपका सवाल ये है कि लोकली जैसे हम ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस बनाते हैं, जैसे लोकल पासपोर्ट ऑफिस से जैसे बनाते हैं, अगर GI ऐसे करने की आप सोच रहे हैं तो शायद ऐसे लोकली GI करना संभव नहीं होगा, होना भी नहीं चाहिए। एक सेंट्रल रजिस्ट्री जो देश की धरोहर है, जो देश की भौतिक संपदा का जो परिचायक है, वो एक सेंट्रल रजिस्ट्री सेंट्रल ऑफिस के थ्रू ही होता है। थ्रू वो मैकेनिज्म पर्याप्त है अपने आप में। रही बात लोकल में या रीजनल लेवल में कहीं करने की, आपका मंशा शायद यही होगा कि ये कैसे जल्दी हो, तुरंत हो। तो इसके लिए व्यवस्था है, कई सारे एजेंसीज है जो फैसिलिटेट करते हैं, और NABARD के तरफ से इतना सारा जो GI हुआ है, हम किसी एजेंसी का मदद से किसी और सहयोगी साथियों को साथ में लेकर के इसका टैगिंग कराया है। तो ये संभव हो सकता है रीजन में। आप बस प्रोडक्ट आइडेंटिफाई करिए, एप्लीकेंट आइडेंटिफाई करिए, बाकी NABARD का ऑफिस को कांटेक्ट करिए ना, कम से कम देयर सो मेनी एजेंसीज, आप खुद कर सकते हैं। NABARD का ऑफिस को कांटेक्ट करिए तो GI टैगिंग का कोई इशू नहीं होगा।
थैंक यू प्रभु। एक मिनट में आ रहा हूँ। जो Nuni was telling during our presentation that people in the northeastern regions, he made a very general statement that they are very, very polite, they are very, very humble, and many of them are, they really are. All are not like the person who is holding the mic there, who makes a lot of noise all the time. You might have seen while my friend Prabhudatta Sahu was answering the question from a gentleman from Jaipur about that particular aspect, one panelist, very erudite scholar with redoubtable credential, Dr. Kishore Goswami of Kharagpur IIT, he comes and very, very reluctantly, sheepishly, he calls me. I go there and listen to him. He said, can I make my point? I said, you can, and please do it. But you have 60 seconds or 120?
Maybe 120.
Okay. Then I think आपके पास आके हम खत्म भी करना है, म्यूजिक बहुत आएगा, ठीक है? Yeah, please,
Okay.
Dr. Goswami.
Quickly. It was actually, the environment was very, very tempting. Not here, it is outside. And because of that, in between I escaped. I was just shopping something. So I am extremely sorry for that. I missed certain important point also in between. So, because here ultimately human behavior come into picture. The issue is, why should I sit here when outside it is more interesting to me? Same is the case applicable to our panel discussion also. So sometime if it is more interesting, you will be able to attract people. Same is the case here also in case of when we are talking about uniqueness, when we are talking about GI, ultimately end of the day, ultimately comparative advantage is coming into picture. Whatever we do it, market is competitive. Market is competitive, we have to compete. If not today suppose government or some other agencies may give you some advantage, some concession, some subsidy, but long term you have to fight, you have to compete in market. In Northeast, it is very much applicable. I am giving an example. When I was doing some projects, of course, research project on handloom products, mostly silk. During that time, Sericulture department was there in Assam. Now also it is there. So I used to interact with them. I used to collect information. And during that time, Assam was trying with all kind of silk. Be it eri, muga, they are having comparative advantage, but along with that, they were trying with other kind of silk, and it was a big failure. Then they started realizing that no, we should try with that kind of product where we are having some comparative advantage. And ultimately, they started focusing more and more on muga and eri, forgetting about other kind. So same is the case with respect to even GI also, whatever you say, or uniqueness, ultimately Northeast India is having different products. With respect to that, we are having uniqueness. So my simple message is, go for that kind of product where we are having comparative advantage first, become master, because here you can bring some other kind of theories also, which is related to even business process outsourcing or knowledge process outsourcing. Because different theories, particularly your core competency theory says it is applicable to even manufacturing sector also. Concentrate on those activities where you are having core competency, and you outsource other activities which are peripheral in nature. You allow others to explore. You need not be master in everywhere. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.